This footprint across Iraq and Syria is roughly the size of the United Kingdom. In 2014, one terrorist organization seized control, dictating 8 million lives. By capturing resource nodes, they funded a state-like infrastructure, generating $3 million daily through hijacked oil and taxation. How did a fringe militant group acquire the heavy weaponry and organizational structure to build a functioning nation-state almost overnight? And what triggered the largest multinational military manhunt in modern history? The group's rise was a viral exploitation of political collapse. They identified and filled specific power vacuums, regions where government authority had completely vanished. This live broadcast image of Saddam Hussein's statue falling in Baghdad marks the starting point. It's April 2003, and the US-led invasion of Iraq has just toppled the government, leaving a massive void in central authority. You can see US soldiers here attempting to manage the resulting chaos. That task became impossible when the Coalition Provisional Authority issued de-Baathification, an order that dissolved the Iraqi military, instantly stripping 400,000 armed men of their jobs. The man sitting next to the rifle in this photo is Abu Musab al-Zarqawi. A radicalized former street thug, Zarqawi moved into the security void created by the disbandment, recruiting those alienated soldiers to launch a brutal insurgency. By 2004, Zarqawi's local successes drew the attention of Osama bin Laden, pictured here. They formed an alliance, rebranding the group as Al-Qaeda in Iraq, and unleashing a wave of sectarian violence designed to make the country ungovernable. By weaponizing the unemployment and anger of a disbanded army, Zarqawi turned a localized post-war crisis into a structured, highly lethal insurgency. By 2010, control of the group passed to the man in this image, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. He took command of an organization that had been severely depleted by years of counterterrorism pressure. His fortunes changed in 2011 with the eruption of the Syrian civil war. As the Syrian state lost control of large swaths of its territory, it created a second, even larger power vacuum. Baghdadi exploited this chaos by pushing his forces into Syria. He officially severed his ties with Al-Qaeda and rebranded his organization as the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, ISIS. In this photo, you can see the physical results of that expansion. In June 2014, ISIS convoys surged back across the border into Iraq, overwhelming local defenses to capture Mosul, the country's second-largest city. The Syrian vacuum provided the physical space and resources for ISIS to evolve from an underground insurgency into an invading conventional army. With Mosul under his control, Baghdadi declared a global caliphate, enforcing a brutal, extreme version of Sharia law over millions of captives. To maintain this rogue state, the group functioned like a real government by collecting taxes, selling looted antiquities, and trafficking small arms to fund their operations. This digital collage illustrates their command of social media, a Twitter caliphate. They bypassed traditional news outlets, using high-end video production and social platforms to project power directly to a global audience. This propaganda engine successfully recruited a global army, drawing thousands of foreign fighters from the West into the conflict zones of the Middle East. ISIS became a digitally native threat, weaponizing modern global connectivity to build and fund a self-sustaining rogue state. The extreme brutality of the group eventually forced a global military response. A US-led coalition of over 80 countries partnered with local Iraqi and Kurdish forces to dismantle the caliphate. The image you're seeing here shows the toll of that counteroffensive. Over several years, coalition airstrikes and urban combat systematically ground down ISIS defenses, reducing their strongholds to rubble. In 2017, ISIS lost Mosul and their nominal capital, Raqqa. By 2019, their final physical stronghold fell, and Baghdadi died during a US Special Operations raid. While overwhelming military force erased the physical borders of the caliphate, it did not extinguish the ideology that built it. In the aftermath, the group mutated. Without a physical capital, ISIS transitioned into a decentralized, franchised insurgency. If you look at this map of the African continent, new red nodes are appearing, representing ISIS affiliates surging into vacuums in Somalia and Mozambique. As the network connects, these groups share tactics, funds, and branding, removing the need for a physical capital. As long as global political vacuums and ungoverned spaces exist, the legacy of ISIS will continue to find fertile ground to mutate.